Good morning, Year 8. So, Disaster Response Day. Today, you're going to be expected to act and think just like an engineer. You're expected to be creative, innovative, and use out-of-the-box thinking to overcome some of the challenges that you're going to be faced today. But what is an engineer? So if you have a look on the board, you can see an engineer is a professional practitioner of engineering. They apply scientific knowledge, maths, ingenuity and creativity to develop solutions for technical, social and commercial problems. Engineers design materials, structures, systems, as well as considering practicality, regulation, safety and cost limitations. The work of engineers forms the link between scientific discoveries and their application to human needs and quality of life. There are lots and lots of different things engineers do, as well as lots and lots of different jobs that engineers carry out that perhaps a lot of you won't even be aware of. So today is your opportunity to have a little insight into the job of being an engineer, a design engineer. So, let's get started. Your teacher now needs to split the class into half. Half of you need to be drawing on the paper what you think an engineer looks like. The other half of the class needs to draw out what you think a designer looks like. What I want you to do is have a real good think as to what you think an engineer would actually look like in real life. What do you presume they would be like? What would their characteristics be like? And also, the other half, who are designing the designer, you also need to think about what you think they would be like. What would their characteristics be like if they're always designing and out there creating new things? You've got 5 minutes now to do this task. So your teacher should be pausing the video now. So, time to compare. What do you notice? Your teacher might be able to pick up some of the engineer images and some of the designer images, and you should be able to correct comparison. Usually you find that those of you on the designer side would have created somebody really cool, someone interesting, somebody creative, somebody a little bit different, whereas your engineer might be a little bit geeky. Maybe he's got glasses and a laptop and a dictionary. Maybe he's just the stereotypical geek that just does maths and science day in, day out. Well, you'll find that engineers aren't like that at all. What we're looking at today are design engineers, and it's a combination of the two. Both the really cool characteristics of a designer and maybe the really clever characteristics of an engineer. That's what we're looking at today. And also those stereotypical thoughts that you might have need to be broken down. Have a look at this video.
I think the world doesn't really have so many walls anymore. I think the engineer of the future is no longer going to be so isolated. Stereotypically, think of the engineer as the guy who's in his 40s and really good at doing math and sits in his office all day doing more math. And I don't know if that's really true anymore. If you look at the engineers here, they do a lot of interacting with clients. They do a lot of public speaking. Half the people here have projects on the side on Kickstarter. You're constantly fiddling and making stuff, whether it's your motorcycle to your fishing rod in the shop. I think engineers are just no longer the special people in the corner. I would say that engineers are integral to innovation. They're involved in every aspect. They're not hidden away anymore. I think they're definitely part of the core team, and that part of that core team is interacting with the rest of the world. And you're making this cool stuff, but you also have to convince the rest of the world that it is cool stuff. I mean, part of the future is now. Like, if you look at the geeky kid, like 20 years ago, there was no, social cred in being the dorky, geeky, glass-wearing kid in the corner, right? And today, that geeks, rule the world. The kids are the ones who are doing the math, doing the programming, building the robots. They're the ones who are actually doing kind of cool stuff. And I think that trend is really just going to continue.
Today's called Disaster Response Day, so you need to know and be aware of what is a natural disaster, and I'm sure you will have studied this already in your geography projects. If you look at the dictionary definition, you'll find it's any event of force or nature that it has catastrophic consequences, such as an avalanche, an earthquake, a flood, forest fire, hurricane, lightning, tornado, tsunami, or a volcanic eruption.
It started off as a shake and then really turned into more of a swing.
Large chunks of buildings fell to the streets as people rushed for cover.
The skyscrapers nearby were swaying like trees in the wind.
I did think at one point that I really might die here.
And then round two as the tsunami sirens wail.
You're seeing live footage of a tsunami engulfing the port area.
When the ominous Black Sea attacked this island nation Friday, it left behind a massive trail of destruction that is getting worse by the hour.
A giant tsunami wave crashes into the Fukushima Daiichi power plant, seriously damaging the building's reactors.
The Japanese Prime Minister Naoto Kan said today the disaster is the worst crisis for Japan since World War II.
The National Weather Service in Birmingham, Alabama has issued a tornado warning for Tuscaloosa County. A tornado warning means that a tornado has been spotted heading for your area. Seek shelter in an interior building.
This has been the country's worst and deadliest tornado outbreak since the Great Depression.
Governor Deal declared a state of emergency in 16 counties.
You think the death toll will go up?
Yes, sir, and we do.
Oh gosh, that is a monster tornado.
The tornado moved slowly 6 miles through the center of Joplin. The town is now effectively cut in half.
It was just crazy. It was like a jumbo jet was landing on your house.
I love you.
It's just flattened.
I really was not prepared for what I saw when I got down here.
Search and rescue crews sift through the rubble trying to locate missing loved ones, and the death toll moves past 100.
It is a huge monumental flood. We're living historic times at this point.
We've almost had a foot this morning, and it will continue to rise and inundate areas of the city.
We're seeing entire trailer parks engulfed with water, people having to grab their belongings and move out.
We need FEMA, we need Red Cross, we need every kind of help that we can get.
You don't give up on your home. Keep fighting.
The floor's trembling and the rocks are falling down.
Good evening. The New Zealand city of Christchurch has been reduced to ruins by an earthquake, with dozens killed and unknown numbers of people still trapped in the rubble.
Can you call out to us, please?
The center just a few miles from this city of several 100,000 people.
I mean, looking around, there was just, people hysterical, not knowing really what to do next.
Magnitude 6.3 quake left a lasting impression on the landscape and on the people.
Flames raging out of control in northeast Arizona.
This is exactly the kind of thing we hoped wouldn't happen.
The way this thing is working, you may not have that much time.
Fire officials are putting out the order to hundreds that it's time to move to safety.
We packed up for everything that we could. Memories and clothes.
We don't want to leave. I'm going to cry. We don't want to leave.
The last part of your introduction is to have a look at how fast these natural disasters travel and happen. You need to make sure that you're in groups of 4 and you'll be able to complete the card sort that you should be getting on your tables now. There's a variation of different natural disasters and 3 different speeds that they could be travelling at: a normal walking speed, a running speed, and an ordinary car speed, approximately about 30 miles an hour. Have a think about which disasters would travel the fastest and put those with the ordinary car, and think about those disasters that would be the slowest and put them with the walking speed. Think about this in your groups, have a discussion. Your teacher should now pause the video and give you 5 minutes for this task. How did you do? Compare your answers and have a chat with the group next to you and your teacher to discuss what you thought would be the slowest. As an extra task, if you get time in your introduction, what you can do is, in your same groups of 4, split an A3 page into 2. On one page, think about the problems that survivors face after a natural disaster, and on the other half, think about what engineers might do to help those problems that those survivors face. A really quick and easy task if you've got time, although your discussions may have run over. I'm sorry I can't be with you today, Year 8, but I hope and wish you all the best for your disaster response day and your ability to think and be creative, just like I know you all are. Good luck!